Uh, hey guys, so let's continue on the place where we had left the last time. So now we are going to talk more about the wildcard routes. So let me just go to my applet route. Okay. So now, for example, these are nothing but the set of routes which we are really going to work upon with. But for example, if at all there are something like you know if someone goes and someone goes down over here and to write down something else, something which I am not, I get an error over here because there is no match routes over here. So for example, someone by mistakenly goes down and put down a wrong URL extension. There has to be some way wherein we can handle that particular scenario, right? So for that we have to create a wildcard route, and that is going to be by this way. Like let's go and code for it. So I'm just going to say path, and my path is going to be nothing but star star. So it is going to be handling all the route, all the paths which are not really defined over it. Okay, so if at all it is not found falling upon on these of the routes which are declared before this particular route, it'll go ahead and find and just show the component which is there over here. So this is nothing but the otherwise route. If at all it is not there present over here, otherwise it will go to the component which is going to be specified over here. So now here I'm going to just say that if at all I'm not handling any of the URL which has not been mentioned in my route. Just going to say the page is not found. So over here I just need to write a page not found component. I'll just go down over here, you know uh, what I'll do is, rather than that, I'll just go down and paste my component which I've already written. I'll just give me a minute. I'll just go down to my source and just okay. So I'm just copied it my boilerplate source component. I'll just copy this paste item. Cool. So if you can okay, so if you can see over here, there is something called page not found component which is there. It is nothing but a simple component with using page not found text into it. And I'll just go down to my app route, and I'll just import it. So I'll just say import. Okay, it's really hot out of here. Okay, so I'll just say components. I'll say but okay, page not found is going to be page not found component. So and over here I'm just going to say it to be page not found component. Page not found component. I just copy this thing out. I'll just paste it over here. Always remember to have this particular entry to be given in this particular part. Okay, so this is it, guys. Let me see when I just go to this particular thing. Okay, now for example, I just go to any random URL, for example, something called random. When I tap over, okay, sorry for that. I just refresh it. It shows me page not found, right? It is showing me, but I'm handling my wildcard path over here, right? So just for the sake of demonstration, I can just go to my base component, the place where I'm writing all my logic. I'll just add one more thing over here called as random, and I'm going to add something called random to URL just for the fact wherein you can get the things off. So if I go over here, it is page not found. For the rest of the stuff, it's going to be normal and simple. So this is it for the wildcard path, and it is much more, you know, it is simpler. uh, there's one more thing which we really need to understand is nothing but you know okay, is supposingly I am just cutting this thing off and I'm putting it at the top. Let me see really what happens if I just go to this particular path over here. you know for each and every route it is showing me page not found. The reason being it is the first route in my route list. So for it, if at all it is matching to this particular point, it is assuming that all the other routes have been taken care of first. So if at all it has been put at the first, that means each and every route will first enter at the wildcard path. So always understand, so if at all you are really implementing your wildcard path, it has to be done straight at the bottom when all the other route parameters, like all the routes, have been really handled off. So now when, if at all I just put it down, it will just work fine the way it is really expected out to be. Okay, so moving on to something called nested routes, right? So how are we really going to do is something like, okay, so what I'm going to do is inside my services, right, I'm going to create a service route, like something called a service component. There is going to be a service base component which will be having some text into it, and then and that particular service route is going to be having some, what do you say, it is going to be having some um, you know some of the child routes. So how can we do that is, firstly, let me just, I am going to create three components out of it. There's nothing but three components would be a service base component, and the second is going to be the service component which I've already created, and then there is going to be something called service details component. So I have already created these components. Let me just go and copy the things out so that we don't really waste time into writing the stuff out, and it is much more simpler. These are the components which are having nothing business logic to be written over here. These are simple component which is having some, you know it is having some of the templates at places. So I'll just go and copy my base and detail to the boilerplate into which I'm really writing the stuff out. I'll just paste the things over here. So if you can see, I have service base and service details over here. I'll just go down here and I'll just you know I'll just import them. To import these, I'll just paste my code over here. Okay, so now always remember to put them over here. Services base component is done, services detail component is done. Super. So now over here, some other way I have to write my child component. So what I'm going to do is, my services is going to be, this particular route is going to be having something called children, and my children is going to be nothing but array over here. Okay, and my array is again going to be have the route objects. So over here, my first route, okay, is going to be a blank route, and it is going to be having a component, the service component. I'll just cut it down from here. I'll put it over here. Okay, and always remember, when we are using a blank path, always use a path match. Sorry, a path match, and I'll just put it as 4, and this particular 4 is cool. So till now it's really great. So what is going to be the base component? So it is nothing but the service base component which would be there over at the top. And again, I'll just create a similar route. Okay, a similar route which will be having something called as optional details, or anything like I'm putting a colon. That means services slash anything would be nothing but this particular component, and this is going to be nothing but, I don't need a path match over here. I don't know why I'm pronouncing it that way, but over here I will just give it like services details component. Cool. So I'll just put it in a proper way wherein cool. I'll just okay. So I'll just okay. So these are nothing but the children of my services. So now I need so my base component is should be, so for route for for rendering these particular components, I need to have one more router outlet which I had already created into HTML file, into my base component that is nothing but the base of my complete app. I had created something called route component over here, route outlet. I need to create the same into my service base, and if you can see over here, I have created something, a template, and it is having a router outlet, and I have given a name to it, and that is nothing but a name is called as services. So over here I should tell my route. Okay, if I go to at this particular at my, I'm really sorry, okay, over here I should tell my first route, okay, that my outlet would be nothing but the services. Okay, services. Now this is nothing but the name of the outlet where this particular children is going to be, it is going to be rendered. So over here it is going to be the name of the services. This outlet is nothing but services. So that is the reason I'm using the outlet name as services over here. And let me just refresh the stuff over here for services. Okay, you can see over here now the my base is nothing but the parent, and the reason I'm in my services, and when I go to nothing but a services path, the first thing is nothing but this particular blank path, and it is rendering my services component over here and my outlet. And you can see this is nothing but my parent, my child, and this is nothing but my child. Okay, so even if I just go over here and do anything, because something called random, I can say, because I am using a colon over here, if I just tap on it, you can see it'll just go and it'll just render my services details component with the child. So this is nothing but my parent and child, and this is how the nested route outlets are really configured. It's very simple, guys. We have covered almost everything which is really needed out to be learning Angular 2 routes. We will continue to learn Angular 2, the rest of the things, in the next videos. Thanks a lot, guys.